As a franchise, the Clippers have a history of letting go of the rope. This is not my opinion or some bias. It is just actual history. This is a team that multiple times has been in position to do more and instead has done less. And while in the 7 years since Steve Ballmer bought the franchise, he has made significant strides in changing the team's culture, there have still been some staggering disappointments. See bubble, comma, the. But here's the thing. If we are going to keep bringing up a team's past history when they are repeating it, we ought to give them credit when they overcome it, and that is exactly what LA did in this series against Dallas. Several times the Clippers could have simply let go. Certainly after going down 0-2 in their own building, or even more so when they fell behind by 19 points in Game 3. But instead, they dug in and then fought some more. And by the time they got to yesterday's Game 7, they not only were the more confident and talented team, they played like it, even as it became obvious early that Luka Doncic was once again going to go nuclear. I mean, the man kept doing things like this, as easygoing as if it were just out for a Sunday stroll here. He had 19 points in the first quarter alone, and frankly was a menace even when he wasn't scoring. Did you see this look at the camera? Yeah, that is not the face of a person who thinks he is losing a basketball game. And indeed, even though Dallas entered the second half down 8 points, the Mavericks kept coming until they turned that deficit into a 5-point third quarter lead. And again, this is when the Clippers could have just let go. They could have tightened up the way they did last season. Remember, it wasn't just that they lost to Denver after being up 3-1 in that series. It's that they did it in games where they had previously held double-digit leads. But again, this time things went differently. Instead of folding, LA did the opposite, going on a 24-4 run that included showing off a little bit of everything that makes this roster so tantalizing. There was Kawhi Leonard with authority, gentlemen, just nasty. And then if you fast forward to the Clips' very next possession, there was Marcus Morris hitting one of his 7 three-pointers on the night. Yeah, Steve, you dance like no one is watching. You have earned it, friend. The Clippers did not relinquish the lead after that. And while there were a few tense moments in the fourth quarter when Luka began heating up again and the lead shrunk to 7, LA didn't just not let go. The Clippers tightened their grip until finally they were the only ones left standing. On the court afterward, I talked to Kawhi about what it all meant.
What does it say about this team, the way you were able to fight back and win to advance to the next round?
I mean, we just fought hard. We never gave up. We know what type of team we were. We all watched film. We wanted to get better, and we did it on the defensive end. And, we came back, and Dallas won those 2 games, and, it was a season from there.
Kawhi also spoke about how much he respected Luka after this series. And indeed, the 22-year-old was just brilliant, even in defeat, finishing Game 7 with 46 points, as his coach Rick Carlisle proclaimed him one of the top 5 players in the world. How Dallas can best build around Luka, that is a conversation that will now extend over the next couple months. But for the Clippers, well, any off-season talk will have to wait, since they are on to a second-round date with the top-seeded Jazz. They will be tested plenty in that series, and if they falter, all the old questions will come rushing back. After all the money and the draft picks and the trade assets spent on this LA roster were not spent to just continually get to the second round. But at least for now, the Clippers, given every opportunity to let go, held on and held together instead. Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.